Ferura Stefan Kinalwa, MP elect Uganda Municipality Wiko District.
Kiromera Hassan Lukalide katika South Constituency.
People power, our power, our power. People power. Sekabira Dennis, MP elect katika Muno.
Morning everyone. Woman MP Uganda District.
Morning everyone. Kabuye Frank, Kasanda South. People power, our power, our power, people power. Patrol Charles, a doubles the Ausilo, South Constituency.
Salongo Akembo Mikaeli Watekawa. MP elect
Charles de Kawanga, sitting MP and MP elect
Kaya Christine Nashimwero, Woman Isukuman MP elect Kiboga Subugapol, Busiro team manager, as well as MP elect Busiro North. People power, our power. People power, our power. NUP
everywhere.
everywhere.
NUP.
Teddy Namboze, woman member of parliament elect, Veggie district. Abduction Christine, MP elect, Okomansi Beach North Constituency.
Veronica Nayondo, Good morning everyone. My name is Mr. President, the only one in our majority, MP elect, Kawagola South Constituency.
People power, our power. Ronald Evans Kanike, Photo East Constituency.
People power, our power. Abanya Kamuga Sapik member for National Unity Platform.
Gilda Milton Mohammed, team in security Kaya Abu Bakr, team People power, our power. Saya Geoffrey, record breaker.
People power, our power. Abanya Katolika Aksam, representative of Wakiso and Sayaga.
People power, our power. Our power, people power. That's good friend. Incoming MP Bomba East. Constituency Bomba.
People power,
Our power. People power.
Our power.
That's Etonalima, Vice Chairperson Wakiso District, and Woman MP elect Wakiso. People power,
Our power.
people power.
Our power.
I didn't say my names. Mugabe Susan Nakaziba, Musambu Mutanga.
Manyanga maji.
People power, people power. Shami Malende, Woman MP elect Kampala District.
People power, Sebata Richard, Lord Councillor Machidi West 4, Speaker to Big Kampala. People power, our power, Yakana Karuanga, so Direct Councillor Metiana District. Okay,
those introductions. You guys have been through the fire, and many of you have emerged victorious. We appreciate you. We know that we have very many members who actually did not lose, but we are rigged. And as NUP, we are doing everything possible to assist some of those people. And maybe in our next engagement, we'll have even more leaders joining us. But we've also received apologies from several elected leaders who are not able to be here, either because they are handling court matters and all that. But we are aware of where our leaders are. So this is our first interaction, our first engagement as a NUP. We strive to be different because we are indeed going to cause a difference in this country. We have promised the citizens of this country a new Uganda, and we want to believe that the constituencies which we have liberated are going to be new constituencies in the true sense of the word. I saw many of your posters having a new Bukomansimbi, a new Kawempe, because indeed we're promising a new Uganda, and we should begin with the liberated constituencies to do that. So without wasting any other time, I will invite the President to speak to us, after which we are going to take about 2 or 3 questions from the media, and then we'll immediately have our own in-house meeting. Mr. President, you're welcome to address.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, honorable members, congratulations. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to those that have been struggling before us. Congratulations to those that are going to come after us. But most importantly, congratulations to the people of Uganda. Without a doubt, we won. The National Unity Platform won. The people of Uganda won. The past, the present, and the future won. Our country can never be the same again. I know that many of you have been to a good deal demoralized. I've personally been in incarceration for the last 11 days. Today is the first time that I'm meeting many of you, that I'm talking to many of you. The First Lady that you decided, that the people of Uganda decided should be the next First Lady, has been in incarceration with me. We are not broken. We were not broken. Because we know that all these are actions of a timid, scared man. I congratulate all of you. This was a win for the people of Uganda. But, like Samora Machel said one time, Aluta continua. The struggle continues. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very, very glad to meet you today, honorable members. I am aware that, yes, while we are sad as a nation that General Museveni, using institutions of state, using the military, and using Mr. Byabakama, made every effort to compromise and take over the will of the people of Uganda, which will not be possible. This can only be timely. I was put under illegal detention in my own house because General Museveni did not win. We won him. Yeah. Using a few people, he declared himself winner. Thereby, staging a coup against the will of the people of Uganda. I can tell you in no uncertain terms that I was elected the democratic president of Uganda. The people of Uganda elected the National Unity Platform. Although the Electoral Commission has announced only 61 of us, you are aware that very many of us actually won. Yes. Many of them are still, pursuing their victories, while others are petitioning the courts of law, even when we know how compromised our courts are. But most importantly, I want you to know that what General Museveni has been doing and is trying to do now will not work this time. This is not only periodical. So I invited you today, first of all, to congratulate you, but to inform you that this is just the beginning and not the end. Friends, you won. You are now honorable members. But it is important to know these things below. One, it is just the beginning. And there's nothing to celebrate right now. There's nothing to celebrate when General Museveni, using his divide and rule tactics, is trying to channel this and create a narrative that this was a tribal election. He was rejected not only in Uganda, he was rejected the country over. He was rejected in the north, rejected in the east, rejected in the west, and rejected here in the south and the central. You are all aware that General Museveni deployed the military. You have seen video evidence of the military and the police critiquing ballot papers, stuffing ballot papers, putting voters on gunpoint and ordering them to vote, not secretly, but on the same desk when everybody is watching, to ensure that he puts up an image that he has won. But I'm glad that unlike ever before, not only locally but internationally, all these schemes have been rejected. You have seen statements from the United Nations, you've seen statements from the United States, you have seen statements from the European Union and very many other international bodies rejecting the fraud. We continue to reject the fraud, and in no unequivocal terms, we are saying that we defeated General Museveni and we are the true winners. However, the will of the people was usurped by General Museveni. He staged a coup. And as we speak right now, while he tactically left some of the very ashaming wins to proceed, he went ahead to avert the wins of other people. Like I told you, many are, pursuing their wins. That explains why not all of us are here today. This is a beginning, friends. The liberation struggle continues. We are not free until we break free from the 35-year-old regime. Yes. Today we meet for the first time after 11 days of, military takeover. It is not a mistake, friends, that we meet today when it is making 35 years of the Museveni gun rule. Today, as I speak to you. It is not a mistake. We are living in a generation where we see revelations before our own selves. It's up to us to tap into them. It's like electricity. It's always there until you tap into it. This generation that very many of you represent, I can see you, very many of you, even as newly elected members of parliament, I believe the majority of you were not born when Museveni took over our country. Look at yourselves right now. The people of Uganda have entrusted you to liberate them from this slavery. And that's exactly what we are going to do. So, number one, I want you to know that the people of Uganda trusted us. They trusted you. Just like our Secretary General has put it on your posters, and as a promise, we put a new Machindi, a new Kampala, a new Kawempe, a new Bukomansimbi, etc., etc. This is the time for us to make good of that promise. I told you while we were still in the campaigns that we are not going to wait to give that leadership when we finally wear the victor's crown. We must give that leadership even when we are in the struggle. This is just one phase of leadership accreditation. The people of your constituencies have accredited you, and this is when you begin to give that leadership. While your people want you to represent their voices in the parliament and in the various offices that you've been elected to, Your people, most importantly, want you to assert the voice of freedom, the voice and aspiration of an end to the dictatorship. And that's exactly what we are doing. And it's my humble prayer and request to you, friends, that you do not forget the mission. This is a mission to freedom. We have always been telling our people, mission 2021, not election 2021, but mission 2021. And I've told you before that our people have agreed with a long old statement that politics is so serious a business to be left to politicians. So I'm asking you not to be politicians. I'm asking you not to be the regular politicians, but to be freedom fighters, to be leaders. We are leading an entire generation out of slavery, and they are banking on you. When General Museveni ordered for the surrounding of my house, he was convinced in his old school mind that by incarcerating me, by disconnecting me from the people, he's pouring cold water on this, our revolution. And I want to tell you that while I speak to you now, I speak to you as if it's the last time I'm talking to you. Because be very sure that this forcefully imposed regime on us, this timid old man who has his future right behind him, is going to do every illegal, every shameful thing. Don't be shocked when they surround my home once again. Don't be shocked when they arrest me and keep me in jail, thinking that by keeping me away from you, they are keeping this revolution cold. So I want to task you today to be a Chagulanyi where you are. Mwadanku Nyinji, the people of Chadondo voted for you. They sent you to accomplish a mission. Same to you, Shamim Malende. Same to you, Kazibwe Bashir. Same to everybody. This is no joking business. This is when the real fight begins. I've told you before, and now the people of your constituencies have proved to you that I'm not any different from you. You can do what I'm doing and even more. And the people have tasked you to that. This is no time for us to put on smart, straight jackets and go to parliament and enjoy. It is a time to sacrifice. It's a time to put away our comfort. This is a liberation struggle that we must start. As a matter of fact, while the struggle has been more painful then, it is even more painful now. But I can guarantee you that we can see freedom in sight. While your constituencies have elevated you and made you stand out, I want you to remember that 100% of our campaign team are in prison. I want you to remember that we stand here on the blood of very many comrades that have been murdered innocently. Which blood we must make good of. They are looking at us. The people of Uganda are relying on us. But they are very proud that they chose us, that their voices, at least in some areas, were elevated. And I want you to know that General Museveni wants so desperately to put an end to this and pretend that we are moving on. We are not moving on to anywhere. We want him. He is not the legally elected president. He is an imposter. Yes, he is. So while you take on these offices, I want you to remember that this is going to be a two-pronged approach. We have the political approach, but this bigger battle is for the people of Uganda. So you are expected to lead your people. At least through these 3 years, you have seen that indeed people power is stronger than people in power. I want you to know that you are servants. You people, you are servants. You were appointed by people to serve them. To serve as anchors of a struggle for freedom and life. They are relying on you. They expect you to be serious. They expect you to be assertive. I know we're going to discuss much more in the absence of the media, but I wanted to congratulate you, friends, and task you and remind you that business is just beginning. It has not ended. There's no reason to celebrate now. There's only reason to be reminded that we have a big task ahead of us. You see, like Mandela one time said, the struggle for freedom is like climbing a mountain. You will climb and get to a certain level thinking that you've overcome, only to see that there's another phase to climb. That's a phase that we are going to right now. But I want you to know that you're leading the people with their trust. They have trusted you. That is a very noble thing. You are special people. Amidst all the rigging, amidst all the irregularities, amidst all the violence, the people asserted their voices. Don't look at yourself like the ordinary. You are not ordinary. You are freedom fighters. You are revolutionaries. Embrace it. Own it. And give leadership. Be magnanimous to those that you want. I know many of you were vying with other forces of change. This is a time to bring them forth. This is a time to show them that we are about leadership. This is no time to brag. This is a time to be humble. But most importantly, this is a time to remember that we are servants of the people of Uganda. So I congratulate you, friends. I welcome you to this struggle. It is not going to be easy. It is not going to be smooth. They are going to provoke you. They are going to try to compromise you. They are going to offer you loads of money. They are going to offer you positions. You've heard General Museveni bragging that he'll buy out some of our leaders. He's bragged that he's going to offer ministerial posts to some of you. And when you refuse, like I know you will, because I know you cannot save your people. When you refuse, they will persecute you. They will jail you. They will put all kinds of wrong narratives around you. But remember, they are doing that to you because you are winners. I can guarantee you, friends, that we are going to remove a dictator. Do not be intimidated. Do not be intimidated. General Museveni might have used the military to assert his force and impose himself on the people of Uganda. Like I've already told you, he's an impositor who we are going to remove soon and very soon. Take examples of his friends. Hosni Mubarak, who purported to have won with 80-something%. He's recently kicked out friend, Omar el-Bashir, who supposed to have won an election with 90%. Not more than a year, he was out of office. We want Museveni out of office in less than a year.
People power.
So do not be, demoralized. We are removing a dictator. What you are representing here is a 45 million people. Okay? What you're representing here is the power of the people. What you're representing here is a new Uganda. And that new Uganda we are going to get. So I congratulate you, friends. I congratulate the people of Uganda. And I pray that moving forward, we are going to be each other's teachers. I salute the senior leaders that we have. And I salute the youngsters that we have. This is a true representation of Uganda. Let it echo amongst all of us. Let us make a difference. Let us not disappoint the people. We must not disappoint the people. You've heard many regime propagandists claiming that the people of Uganda will regret voting out of hate. They hate the Museveni regime because it has oppressed them for 35 years. Today, while they are celebrating 35 years of taking over our country, we are mourning that day. And I want it to drum deep down in you. and remember that we have a duty like no other generation. Our duty, our mission is to remove a dictator. And you are here as commanders. You are here as leaders to push this through. So I salute you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll exchange much more. There's more that I want to share with you that we don't yet want to expose to the media. There's much more that you are going to get from our leaders, but I wanted to salute you and welcome you yet again to this next phase of our struggle. For God, mu Uganda kubanka kasamwe nambitegede wamba si kyekyono okuba temera mu bannange mbayozayoza mikwano gyange bayozayoza okulondebwa okukiikirira bannayuganda newankubadde bangi kuffe abalondeddwa naye olwokubanga mwami Museveni mu bwannakyemalira bwe yayagadde nnyo okwawula mu bantu alage nti nno ekitundu kimu kyekitamulonze naye wala abamulonze bakandideti baffe bangi nnyo bababbye nga bwe mwalabye nti amagye gakozesebwa mu kutiikinga obululu n'okugaana abantu abamu okulonda n'okukyusa zi DR forms n'ebitundu ebirala okulangirira obulangirizi mu buswavu bw'ekitalo abantu abatawangudde ne babalangirira nti ate be bawangudde naye mbayozayoza naye okusingira ddala njozayoza bannayuganda bawangudde okulonda kuno twakuwangula mwami Museveni twamuwangula twagenda mu kulonda bannayuganda ne balonda National Unity Platform bannayuganda ne banonda okubeera pulezidenti waabwe era njagala obbategeeza mu abali wano n'abo abali eyo ebbali w'eggwanga ti Museveni bannayuganda tebamulonda nze kama kwogera nze gwe balonda era ffe tuwakanya mwami byabakama bye yayogera mwami Museveni tebamulonda ffe tetumulaba nga pulezidenti waffe kuba bannayuganda tebamulonda era mu buswavu bw'ekitalo yalina okusindika amagye mu bumenyi bw'amateeka ne gatwetooloola ne gansibira awo ne waka ne first lady wammwe gwe mwalonda. Njagala okwebaza amaloboozi okwetoola ensi yonna ebitongole omuli UN omuli US Mission omuli European Union omuli Amnesty International n'ebitongole byonna ebyensi yonna ebyasitula amaloboozi gaabwe oluvannyuma lw'ekkooti okusalawo nti baali bansibidde wano mu bumenyi bw'amateeka amagye gasoose kuziimula kiragiro kya kkooti naye olwaleero bakedde kuvaawo era guno gwe mukisa ogusoose okwogerako nammwe eno si nsobi baganda bange okulaba nti lwensoose okwogera nammwe lwe giweredde ddala emyaka 35 bukyanga omuyeekera gwe bayita Museveni ne bayeekera banne lwe bajja ne bawamba ensi yaffe ku mudumu gw'emmundu era okuva ku olwo baatufuula baddu mu nsi yaffe neera njozayoza bannayuganda nti mu kunyigirizibwa mu ttemu ne mu kutiisibwatiisibwa okw'ekika ekyawaggulu baavuddeyo ne basalawo mwami Museveni ne bamugoba nga bayita mu kalulu newankubadde mwami Museveni yeewaŋŋamizza mu ntebe gy'atalina kutuulamu essaawa zino njagala okumujjukiza mu bigambo byange titugenda kumuggyamu mu ntebe eyo njagala obajjukiza mikwano gyange nti ebifo bye babalonzeemu si byakulya pate wabula babawadde bwesige na buvumu na kyebayita stamp of approval mu bakulembere njagala obbasaba mikwano gyange nze ng'omuntu temunswaza naye okusingira ddala temuswaza ebiruubirirwa byaffe ng'eggwanga ebiruubirirwa byaffe ng'omugigi abasinga obungi kummwe temwali bazaale Museveni we yawambira ensi yaffe kati muli babaka ba parliament ekyo nno kibajjukize nti tulina omulimu ogw'amaanyi ogw'okweggyako nakyemalira ate nga tugenda kikola nga Mukama ye mubeezi waffe so njagala okubajjukiza nti obuyinza obw'abantu basazeewo mu bakiikirire ebifo byammwe mubikozese nga front ey'okulwanyisa obwannakyemalira buno. Mubikozese nga front. Muli malobozi g'abantu. Nze nga mbagamba nti sina njawulo nammwe. Era nga mbagamba nti nze kyensinga okwagala kwe kwekubisaamu abantu bangi nnyo. Ndi musanyufu nti mwenna buli Bakyagulanyi n'okukirawo. Era nga njagala okubakunga mikwano gyange mugende mukole ekyo kyennyini abantu kye bakkiririzaamu. Omulamwa gwaffe gwakujjako dictator tetukikweka. Mission gye tuliko yakujjako nakyemalira Museveni. Bannayuganda bamugyeko nga bayita mu kalulu. Mwenna mukiraba obujulizi weebuli mu zi videos mu zi declaration forms newankubadde abasirikale n'amagye bagifudde mission yaabwe okugenda nga balumbagana ba agent baabwe nga babawambako declaration forms. Naye obujulizi weebuli titwawangudde mu Museveni. Ekiddako kwe kukulembera bannayuganda bannaffe okwejjako nakyemalira. Njagala obbajjukiza nga nva waggulu nti mikwano gya Museveni omuli Hosni Mubaraka bwe bajjako e Egypt n'amaanyi g'abantu nga tebakozeseza muntu yali yakamala okwerangirira nti awangudde n'ebitundu ebisukka mu 8. Hosni Mubaraka tanaweza mwaka nga bamugjeeko era yali tanaweza mwaka nga wambye obuyinza bw'abantu nga abasiba ekiwaani nti yawangudde n'ebitundu ebisukka mu 9. Bashir gwe baakajjako ne Sudan yali tanaweza mwaka nga yerangiridde nga bwawangudde of course mu bulimba n'ebitundu 9 ku buli 100. Kati ate ono Museveni namukadde. Njagala okubategeeza nti bannayuganda balinaffe naye mmwe mulina obbaawo obukulembeze. Ensonga lwaki mwami Museveni ansibira ewaka, ensonga lwaki amaaso agateeka ku nze kubanga alowooza nti nze bwanzijamu mmwe olwo kiba kiwedde. Njagala obbakunga olunaku lwaleero mikwano gyange mumanye nti guno mulamwa tegukoma ku Kyagulanyi wabula mwenna abantu okubalonda kitegeeza nti naawe oli Kyagulanyi ewammwe. Ate naawe mu constituency eyo osobola okukunga Bakyagulanyi ne bawera 1000 ne bawera 1,000 ne bawera bangi. N'olw'ensonga eyo njagala okubategeeza mikwano gyange gine lwaleero lwennyini basobola okuddamu ne beetoola amaka gange, basobola n'okunkwata ne bansibira ewalala, basobola n'okunzita, naye tuba tukomye? No, tuba tetukomye. Samala Mate yagamba aluta continua, olutalo lugenda mu maaso. Basaba mweweeyo nga saddaaka mikwano gyange. Njagala mubeere njagala mubeere basaale mu bitundu byammwe. Ate buno obubaka nammwe mbongereyo mu bantu. Mission gye tuliko yakujjako nakyemalira. Tebinnaba kuggwa bitandika butandisi mikwano gyange. Tebinnaba kuggwa bikola ki? Tebinnaba kuggwa bikola ki?
Bitandika
butandisi. N'olw'ensonga eyo mbayozayoza naye nga mbajjukiza nti olutalo lwaffe olw'okununula eggwanga lyaffe n'olw'okujjako nakyemalira lutandika butandisi. Bingi bye tugenda okuteesaako, of course bye tutandyagadde bannamawulire bafune nga tetunaba biboobeza bulungi nnyo, naye mbaaniriza mbayozayoza mbategeeza nti mwami Museveni ffe tetumulaba nga pulezidenti kubanga si pulezidenti. President eyalondebwa mumulaba wano maaso gammwe Bannayuganda bayimiridde naffe tujja kuba mu biseera ebiddako maaso nga tubagaidinga engeri gye tugenda okutambula. Njagala okwongera okikatiriza tiffe tetuli bamenyi b'amateeka, tetukozesa mundu, tetuli violent, naye tugenda kujjako nakyemalira ono nga tewali n'essasi n'erimu lye tufulumiza. Ndowooza nja kufunayo ebibuuzo nga 2-3 okuva eri bannamawulire, then tugende maaso n'olukuŋŋaana lwaffe.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Another round of applause, please. I can definitely not add anything to that. But before I call the questions, I want to make a few introductions of as leaders that we did not introduce at the start. First one being our Deputy President, the Honorable Magere. The Honorable Mwanga Chimumbi.
Our power.
People power. Kawempe North. Honorable Patrick Nsamba, Oshaga, I think I saw him around.
People power. Our power. Our power.
People power.
And finally, Honorable Flavia Karule Nabagabe.
Our power. Our power.
People power.
Are there others who came in after we had done introductions? Honorable Joyce Wagala.
From Channel 4040. Those people are continuing to spread the gospel how they defeated you. And they can't justify, but the only issue they emphasize is for you to proceed the courts of law. I wanted to know your step. Are you proceeding the courts of law?
Thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you. My name is Jackson Onyango. Maybe if you could start with your experience in the 11 days that you were kept in this compound and in your house. What was it like? And secondly, you have talked of removing General Yoweri Museveni within a space of 1 year. How are you going to do this? Because we know that elections have ended. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, away from the courts that we expect a response from, there are a number of people you talked about who we know are still in jail. And what is the plan? What is the NUP plan to ensure that they are released? Others won positions when they are still in jail.
Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Shamim Navakoz. I work with Record TV. My question is relative to that of Jackson. I want to know, what is your plan that is going to facilitate the move to remove President Kumuchi?
Thank you very much. Yes.
My name is Solomon Serwanja. I work with NDS Territory 1. Is the National Unity Platform thinking about going to court to challenge these elections? Also, the Honorable Robert Chagulani has said that they will remove the government in 1 year using non-violent means. Can you maybe throw more light on that?
Thank you very much, and maybe I'll have the final
Court, others are seeking for a recount of the votes. For example, in Masaka, it is going on today. What is the party doing? Because it looks to be the same script those who lost are reading from. So what is the party doing to help the MPs elect to stay in their position?
Okay. Nja kwawukanako ku bannange mbuuze mu Luganda era nja kwagala ansa mu Luganda. Abe Munywevu, Uganda TV. Ekibuuzo kyange ekigenda wa Mr. President. So far, nga NUP tumanyi nti era tubuulirwa nti NUP yawangula, naye njagala kumanya Mr. President, obuwanguzi bwa NUP naddala ku bwa President tutuuseewa like wakatambulako banga ki mu ebyo bye wakagattagattamu oba bye mugaseegaseemu
Ladies and gentlemen, Korojuliro, ennyonyi etandise okwetala. Ennyonyi etandise okwetala.
Nga NUP sofa eyina byegaseeko okwetooloola eggwanga nga ekosa app eri eya YouVote oba enkola endala yonna. Sofa ku ebyo ebigattiddwako tutuuseeko wa? Era singa ofuna omuwendo ogusingaku ogwa Electoral Commission gwe yakuwa ne bw'oba tofunye DR forms ziri ezaatwalibwa kikyobozaako.
We are not safe. We are not safe. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have an ambush. Katugezeeko. President Linda ennyonyi yiyo, well, gwe ali ku Lujjuliro TV. Muganda wange bali serious. Bali serious nnyo. Bagala kulandinga ndowooza. Okay. President.
People power. Our power.
People power. Yes. I'll have a tweet.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I hope I have the attention of all the journalists.
Yeah.
Please ignore the cowards. First of all, I've been asked by journalists who must have misquoted me, saying that I've said we are going to remove Museveni within 1 year. You must have misquoted me. A year is too long. A year is too long. A year under General Museveni means more deaths, means more oppression, means more lawlessness. Even a month, even a week. The people of Uganda have the right to stand, to rise up against misrule, against injustice, anytime, as soon as yesterday and as late as now. The law provides for the people of Uganda to stand for their rights, and we encourage them to stand. Mr. Byabakama announced results that were non-existent. They first announce the winner, and then they start compiling results. That is what Mr. Byabakama did, and we disagree with that fraud. While we have all the evidence, we told you that we are in discussions with colleagues on how to proceed about the court, which we know that General Museveni appoints. He appoints the entire bench of the Supreme Court, and we have, learned from the past. We saw what came out of the decision that was arrived at in the 2011 BCJ court petition, and what came out of the Mama Baba's petition. And should we go to court, it should be another front to expose the regime. But most importantly, the court we believe in most is a court of public opinion. We have believed always in people power. Our energy, our hope, and our power is within the people of Uganda. So it is the court of public opinion that is most important to us. About the plan for, I'll refer some questions to our legal team and our Secretary General. For example, the MPs running to court, and about the U-Vote app. But I'll just respond to the question of the experience under house arrest. Well, what can I say? Home feels different when new friends are here. Where you are seated right now, there were tents of soldiers. They jumped over the fence and took over our compound. They could not allow my wife to access our garden. They beat up our security guards and terrorized everybody that we stay with. But, that serves only to expose the kind of regime that is presiding over us. I will not talk so much about the stress and the experience. All I can say is that we are here. And we are not giving up. All that stress only made us strong and proved to us that Museveni is so scared of us. And finally, about the jailed comrades, you are aware that more than 400 of our colleagues are in prisons across the country. We heard from our colleagues that were charged in military court and remanded in Chitalia, including Nubian Lee. All his hair has been shaved off as an effort to humiliate him. And many other comrades are sick, but they are strong in the spirit. Continue to pray for them, but most importantly, we continue to demand for their freedom. And if you had so many reasons to demand for the freedom of our people and to stand against the Museveni regime, let this be yet another strong reason for you to fight on. I thank you, and I forward it to you, Comrade Secretary General.
Thank you very much.
Uganda. Uganda yange katono. Mwebale nnyo. Mu Luganda batubuuziza ku nsonga waliwo munnamawulire alina okuba nga yampulidde bubi. Agambye nti ngambye nti Museveni twagala mujjako omwaka muwanvu nnyo. Omwaka omulamba nga Museveni yatufuga kitegeeza kwongera bannayuganda kufa na kuttibwa, bannayuganda kwongera kubuzibwawo, bannabyamizannyo abasambi b'omupiira ne babokisa kutemulwa nga tewali ripooti. Kitegeeza bakyala baffe n'abaana baffe kwongera kufa. Kitegeeza kubeera nga tufugibwa mudumu gwa mmundu. So omwaka muwanvu nnyo nga tufugibwa Museveni, n'omwezi muwanvu nnyo. Obwangu obusinga okwetakululako nakyemalira Museveni bwandibadde bwajjo. Okulwawo ennyo kulina kubeera kwa leero. N'olw'ensonga eyo njagala mwena mumanye nti bannayuganda amateeka gabawa eddembe okuwakanya okufugibwa obumbula, okuwakanya okufugibwa mu nfuga etali y'amateeka, era balina eddembe okuyimirirawo, at least constitution ebawa eddembe eryo. N'olw'ensonga eyo njagala obbakunga mwena bannayuganda, si kulinda mwaka, si kulinda mwezi, si kulinda wiiki, sinakulinda lunaku, naye okuyimirirawo buli omu okukozesa kyasobola okuwakanya enfuga ya Museveni n'okuwakanya ebyavudde mu kulonda ebyo ebyalangiddwa mwami by'Abakama, ebikyamu, ebifu bye tutakkiriziganya nabyo. Batubuuziza oba tuteekateeka ogenda mu kooti. Anja bategeeza bannayuganda bannange nti obujulizi bungi nnyo nnyo nnyo, nammwe bwe muze mulaba zi vidiyo z'abasirikale nga batikinga obululu, abapoliisi n'abamagye nga bapakira obululu mu bokisi, abasirikale nga batadde abantu ku mudumu gw'emmundu babalagira batikinge Museveni. Naye nga tetunatuuka naawo mwalaba nti ne process eya campaign yonna yali mu bumenyi bw'amateeka, nga mwami Museveni akozesa COVID okumenya amateeka, ye kennyini okulemesa bakandidate abalala okutuuka mu bifo bingi, okutemula abantu n'ebirala ebifaanana bwe bityo. Ebyo byonna byonna byandibadde bimala bumazi okusazibwamu okulonda kuno. Naye era tumanyi bulungi nnyo nti ekkooti ezo, naddala ekkooti enkulu mwami Museveni bonna yabawa omulimu. Era tumanyi bulungi nnyo nti mu byafaayo okugeza okulonda kwa 2011 n'okulonda kwa 2016 okwaloopebwa mwami Besigye ne mwami Amama Mbabazi, ebyasalibwawo ekkooti mwabiraba. Kunaabagenda mu kkooti, ekimu ku bigendererwa kujja kubeera kwakwanika kkooti ezo. Mwena mwawulidde omulamuzi Ssaabalamuzi w'eggwanga mwami Owiny Dollo ng'agamba tebafugibwa mwami Museveni. Ekyo tukyayogera ne bannaffe tulabe oba tubagezesa nabo tubakube mu ttooki, si eya wano yokka wabula ey'ensi yonna. Naye njagala obbategeeza nti ekkooti esingayo obukulu ffe gye tulinamu obwesige ye kkooti ey'abantu ey'abannayuganda. Bambuuziza embeera gye tubadde tuyitamu ennaku 11 we tubadde abasibe. Njagala obbategeeza nti wano we mutudde wonna wabadde wajjudde magye nga gawamba oluggya lwaffe, gawamba ennimiro zaffe, ge galya emmere yaffe, tebatukkiriza na kugenda mu nnimiro yaffe kugyayo emmere. Naye oluvannyuma lw'ennaku 11 okuggyako okusalamu kaweeti akatono n'okola figa, tukyaliwo, tukyali bagumu era tukyagenda mu maaso paka nga tuggyeko nakyemalira Museveni. Bya ddala ebibuuzo ebirala nja kusaba bannange babiddemu, omuli ekyababaka baffe ababbiddwa abateeseza okukyogenda mu kooti n'ekya You Vote Up. Naye bambuziza kyenjagala okuddamu ekisembayo kyekya bannaffe abali mu makomera. Tubategeeza nti bannaffe bangi nnyo bali mu 100 bali mu makomera ag'enjawulo mu ggwanga. Mwe muli n'abali ku campaign team yaffe abakwatibwa, abatwalibwa mu kooti y'amagye, newankubadde babakwata nange naye bo ne batwala mu kooti y'amagye. omuli banubiani ba Edi Mutwe n'abalala bannaffe abagenzeeyo okubalabako bantegeezezza Nubian ye wakati mu kugezaako okumutyoboola bamumweddeko enviiri ze zonna n'abalala bayisiddwa bubi nnyo mu kkomera abalala balwadde naye obubaka bwe batuwa nti bagumu nnyo mu kkomera gye bali naffe mu kkomera eno gye tuli newankubadde tutambula naffe tugume obuwanguzi bwaffe mwebali ddala munzikirize mpozi nyongere ate nteeke essiira kw'omu ku baganda baffe ono nga yali nfanfe wange nga ntambula nnyo naye mukodomi wange kubanga kizibwe wa mukyala wange gwe bayita Lule David Wanika abangi gwe mumanyi nga Selector David oyo yawambibwa mu maka ge awo e Magere abasirikale omwali aba SFC aba UPDF n'aba poliisi ne bamukuba nnyo ne bamuteeka mu drone ne bamutwala era ng'okuba kwolwo taddangamu kulabika. Twongera okubanja Selector David, twongera okumubanja, twagala okumulabako kuba talina musango ne baba bagamba alina omusango twagala bamuleete mu kooti. Let me say that in English. Among the very many comrades that were abducted is my brother-in-law, a cousin brother to my wife, and a very close ally of mine, Lule David Wanika, also known as Selector David, who was abducted on the night of 12th January from his home here in Magere by SFC soldiers, UPDF soldiers, and Uganda police officers. They beat him up so bad and bundled him in a drone van and drove him away. Since then, he has never been seen again. We don't know where he is, and we continue to demand for his unconditional release. And if he has any case to answer, he should be presented in a competent court of law. I thank you, Mr. Secretary General.
Thank you very much. I think the question I need to respond to very quickly is one, and then I will go into another meeting. The question was if the party is helping comrades who have issues, cases, and all that, and the answer is yes. Our comrades are helping out the legal teams, but also other elected leaders. And you can see, for example, that some of the leaders are not here because they are in Kalungu trying to help one of the comrades there, and other cases that we have from across the country. So we are doing our best to help them, and we encourage all leaders to take this up, knowing that it is for all of us. And regarding you vote, we are trying to gather as much evidence as possible. And recently we gave out a number, we made it public, through which the citizens have been bringing out all sorts of evidence, including from DR forms, videos, pictures. I mean, this was not an election. In some parts, the military would just reach a polling station and chase away everyone and put, ballot papers in there. In some cases, we had reports where people were told that here you cannot, there is no voting for the president. They say, president did come as a Katimuje Mulondeba MP. You can imagine that kind of situation. So we are gathering all this evidence. As to what we are going to use it for, we are going to let you know. But most importantly, we are presenting it to the country because Ugandans need to know how their victory was robbed in broad daylight. I thank you so much, and we now request that only elected members of parliament and mayors stay here for the rest of the meeting. I thank you. We encourage our people to continue voting the umbrella at all levels. On 3rd February, there are other elections, and we are telling people we want to thank the people of Uganda who are voting the umbrella everywhere, and we encourage them to continue doing that. All right, so we've sent the members of parliament and mayors here, then assistants and supporters.
Bwe tutyo olukiiko bwe lugenze ate omukama waffe mwebale nnyo ababaddeko ku Lujjuliro TV. Twamaze ne tujja e Magere wakati mu kunyigirizibwa, still tubadde e Magere naye era ndowooza olaba nti okunyigiriza kukyali kw'amaanyi era boogedde bingi ddala, naye ekisinga byonna nti omukulu yakkiriza najjawo amagye mu maka omukulembeze w'eggwanga lino Kyagulanyi Ssentamu wano e Magere, kati tusobola okumutuukirira era tusobola okubaako bye tumugamba. Abantu boogedde bingi ddala. Honorable Nyako Derek, katumusabe abuuze ku bantu b'olujjuliro.
Abali ku lujjuliro mwena muwulidde omukulembeze waffe bw'agambye, njagala okubakakasa nti tuli bakumu nnyo, ate njagala okubakakasa nti byonna bye twogeddeko tugenda kubiteeka mu nkola, tugenda okutuukirira abantu baffe era okubanyumiza n'okubagamba kye kigenze mu maaso, naye okusingira ddala tugenda kukolera wamu okulaba nti eggwanga lino tulikyusa essaawa yonna, weewaawo tukikkaatiriza nti essaawa yonna, kubanga ffe tumanyi obukambwe security bwe yakozesa, tumanyi obubbi bwe bakozesa, tumanyi embeera yonna yonna gye twayitamu mu kalulu akalulu kano tekali free and fair. So njagala okubagumya n'okubagamba kyonna kyetukola tukikole nga tumanyi kyetulwanirira kyekyo ekituufu. Kirungi nnyo okubeera ku sayidi entuufu ey'eggwanga.
Alright, Honorable Nyako Derek bw'atugambye abantu bangi ba honorables bwe bali wano abalonde bonna be mulaba baayiseemu ku kadi ya NUP era essanyu ly'amaanyi nnyo wano e Magere, era tugenda tulaba omukwomu mpola Shamima
tutandiseeko tukongere ate bwe tumala tugere tubanje obuwanguzi bwaffe nga bwe twongera okutereeza ensonga zino eza Uganda eyawamu. Bannayitibwa tumalirire abaana bange abawakiso okuba mwategedde mwasazeewo mami omupya tubeere bagumu, tugenda kutambuza emirimu gino nga tugitambuliza wamu. Sijja naluyimanga maama naye gyaffe ffenna bannawakiso nyongera okubeebasa kuba mwasalawo tutambuze famire yaffe eyawakiso district nga tugitambuza mu maanyi. Tuyozaayozawo bonna be batulondeddwa nabo abakulembeze ku local governments n'abatayiseemu, naye nsaba obwenkanya bwongera okukolebwa buli ngeri zonna. Tugere ku kadife twongere mu kasukali tukatereze tumale ekintu kitambuze.
Alright, Mama Wakiso, ebigambo biba bwe bityo bya ssanyu kwebaza ate oba oli awo n'okusiima abaatuwa obululu. Banaye mukkirize mu ngeri y'enjawulo njogereko ne Vice President. Taata nsaba obuuze ku bannalujjuliro. Baagala nnyo taata. Esebo. Well, bannalujjuliro bakwebaza obuwanguzi bwe watuukako ko n'omutima omutima ogwagala enkyukakyuka n'okulemerako ate n'olwanirira amazima. Kitange ekibuuzo kiri nti olwaleero tulabye nga security ekyali nnyingi nnyo. Okay. Well, President alabika akyali mu interview katono nnyo ate tugenda kuba tukuddira twogereko naawe.
Agenda kuya BBC.
And we are sure God alina ffe Katonda alina ffe ekirala we have the blessings of the Almighty God, the international community is squarely and surely with us. The Uganda bonna bamanyi omuntu balonda. It's just a matter of time. President abigambye tetugenda kugamba tulinda mwaka bamanyi bagamba Museveni bagenda kulaza mwezi wa kutaano. We cannot wait for that. So tugenda mu meeting ey'omunda nga bategeezeza tumanyi meeting egenda kubaamu ebibala bingi nnyo n'ababaka abalonde president waffe tumanyi meeting egenda kubaamu babasingi nnyo. So of course biziyoganga tulaba Uganda but bottom line kwata toki kwata mulyogo kwata mambuli tubelenga tukuweza after
we are starting another meeting.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
That has been Secretary General ategezeza ba comrades ate batuule basobole kubanga beyongerayo ne meeting yaabwe. Olukiiko bwerutyo bwerugenze mikwano mukirize mu mbeera ng'eno wakati mu masanyu amangi ate tusobole okubanga tubeeresa.